Toodaloo.
3, 2, 1. That's gonna be a nightmare to tidy up.
Hi guys, today is the 8th of November 2024, which means it's my birthday. I'm 24 today, and we thought, why don't we just tell you about my whole life from the day I was born?
And we'll have cake. Everyone, come on, let's gather around and let's sing happy birthday to Iwana. So I want you to sing with me. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Iwana. Happy birthday to you. Hip hip.
Hooray!
Hip hip.
Hooray!
Hip hip.
Hooray!
Here, blow out and make a wish. What did you wish for?
Something good.
Really?
Yeah.
Right,
Well, where do I begin?
at the beginning.
So, on the 8th of November 2000, I was born in Holland, in Almere. I don't remember much about my house. All I remember is that in the backyard, we had like this like fake wood. It was like laminated, and my mom would put like soap and water, and we used to slide up and down the garden. It was the best time ever. I also remember this huge lion head that was like hung above the stairs. I think that was my dad's idea. I was terrified of this thing and literally had nightmares about it.
Most normal Surinamese ornament.
Literally.
Did you tell them you have Surinamese?
Oh yeah, so I was born to my dad, who is Surinamese, and then my mom, who is Dutch. I don't remember my sister being born, but she was born 3 years later. So at this point I'm 3, I got a little sister. We're still living in that house. I remember when I was like 7, we befriended our neighbors. They were twins, and we used to all listen to this girl band all the time together. They were called K3. At this point, yay. I also did ballet class. My mom was a ballerina, so I assume that's why she put me into ballet class. I don't know if I was any good, but I know it was fun. My parents split up when I was 6, but I still saw both of them. But then at the age of like 9, my dad moved back to Suriname, which is far away. It's like right above Brazil. I think this is when I started to be a bit more like conscious and like slowly started to know like, okay, things aren't maybe that good. Like before that I was all hunky-dory, and my mom is like just the best mom ever.
Well, my mom's the best mom ever.
My mom's my best mom ever.
Well, my mom is the best mom ever.
My mom's my best mom ever. And I know that she's like always tried really hard to just make it feel like life was perfect for us, which I appreciate her so much for. But I think at the age of 9, I could slightly realize that not everything was super perfect. I realized like, okay, we don't really have as much money as most people do, and now we're having to move to a smaller house, and it's like a little bit stressful, and we were getting food stamps and we were getting gifts from children I didn't know on Christmas. So I knew something was up, but like I said, my mom's just the best, and she figured out ways to just make our life feel perfect anyway. But I was aware that things were not as they easy as they could be. So yeah, at the age of 9, we moved house to a little bit, I'm gonna call this a bit of a rougher neighborhood. All the kids there were, I suppose, in a similar financial situation that we were, but they didn't get as lucky with their parents.
They were in a similar situation, but lacking the same support system.
Exactly. Suddenly I was in a neighborhood with people who I didn't really necessarily understand as much. There was still a lot of kids my age, which like felt very fun.
Well,
but
you've told me there's a lot of drug use and a lot of...
Yeah, like I'd go over to my friends' houses and there'd be like people using drugs, and I had no idea what this was. But it's just, you see where I'm getting at. Anyway, this is where I suppose I experienced my first bit of bullying.
Kids are so mean.
Kids are so mean. But there was this one point where I was like, no, I'm fighting back.
Hey!
Yeah, and my dad had given me a gift. He'd given me this, I think it was my dad.
A knife?
No.
Oh, a gun?
I don't know who it was, but I had received a little phone. It was this pink slide-up phone with a keyboard. It was absolutely legit. And I figured out how to like download songs onto it. And the song I downloaded was Party in the USA by Miley Cyrus. One day, all the kids, they were down on the street and I was in my mom's bedroom window looking down on the street, and they were laughing at me. I don't know what possessed me to do this, but I'm so proud of little me for doing this. I put on that song on my phone and I started karaokeing it to them from my window with the most sass I think I've ever experienced to this day. They probably were still laughing at me, but I felt great. In my head, that was like the final point of me being friends with them, and I left the toxicness behind. Around this same time, my mom met another guy from Switzerland and she fell in love with him. He just came and visited us here and there, and we didn't really know why he was coming over. We were still too young. So this one time, we dropped him at the airport, and Tanita and I, that's my sister's name, we were walking in front of them, and then we just hear like, we literally looked at each other and we're like, what is going on? And then we looked behind us and we see them kissing, and we were just like mind blown. We were like, no, what's going on? What? I think I was really happy getting kind of like a stepdad. Anyway, that's how we figured out, oh, okay, this is like a thing. So now I'm 11 and we moved to Switzerland. And I'm just gonna preface it with, I didn't love it there. I first of all had to learn a new language, which now in retrospect, I don't even remember learning it, and it just seemed like it kind of happened. But it's still a little bit hard going to a school that's not made for foreign kids. Like, it was just a Swiss school, and I just showed up there knowing zero Swiss.
That's where we met for the first time.
No, it's not. You're a bit early. But yeah, Switzerland is not the most inclusive place. I don't know how it is now, but that's how it was back then. And I also did live in quite a small village, which just means even less inclusivity. I think my sister and I were the only black kids apart from one other brother and sister. So I think there was 4 black kids.
I thought you were just going to say one other brother.
One other brother. No, there was a total of 4 black kids in the neighborhood, including my sister and I. You can calculate what happens from that.
What happened?
They call you chocolate bunny.
Yay!
No. There was obviously some people who were like, well, you're black, I'm not, so that's bad.
Is it?
It's not, in fact.
Okay, yeah, just checking.
Actually, it's not bad, but they thought so. I somehow remember really not caring about this. I had found 2 friends who actually were Dutch, which was great because it felt like a little bit of home. I think I just liked them a lot. And then these bullies, I don't really remember them bothering me that much. So now I'm 13, and then you move to the next part of school. This is when...
We met.
No, no, this is when I started using my creativity a little bit more. I started my YouTube channel.
Not this YouTube channel, by the way.
Not this one. No, but I think I started slowly experimenting with videos. I would like make dance videos with my friends. Anyway.
You can probably find some old videos of you if you really trolled the internet.
I've like really hidden them.
Ooh, challenge alert, challenge alert.
Then, honestly, nothing interesting happened there. I was just doing school, it was whatever. And then we decided to move to England. My parents got asked to work at a school in England, a boarding school, to be the boarding parent. So I was told, hey, Iwana, how do you feel about moving to England? And I was like, absolutely great. I was like, that's where Britain's Got Talent is filmed, so I'm gonna be able to go on that because I really wanted to be a dancer.
Yeah, and
I was like,
we met on Britain's Got Talent.
Babe, your time will come. Anyway, so I was like, great, England, London, Britain's Got Talent. I want to move there. I'm so happy to do that. And I'm 14 at this point. So we moved to this boarding school. I learned English at this school. It was a very interesting experience. I basically lived 24/7 in a school. Even when there was holidays, I would stay in the school because my parents lived in the school. And I basically shared my parents with like 36 other kids for 4 years. It was quite fun. You were never bored. I made some of my lifelong friends here. Shout out Taya, shout out Yumemi. Love you guys. And I was still doing YouTube at this point. I literally made a moving vlog from Switzerland to England.
So you've been flirting with the idea of YouTube this
I've
whole
been
time.
flirting with it for a long time. I think it's my calling. The thing was with the school though, it was in the middle of nowhere. I don't know, I felt like I a tiny bit missed out on my teenage years the way that most people experience their teenage years. Like I never been to like a house party. I never drank, which these things are technically all good, but you know when you are a teenager, you feel like you're missing out on them. So when I came to 18 and I graduated from the school, I was like, I need to get to London ASAP. I need to go do this. I never wanted to go to university, but I was like, if this is the way I can get to London, I'm going to do it. I got into university. I got my loan.
What did you go to study?
I went to study fashion photography.
Ooh, we're almost at my bit.
We're almost at your bit. So now I'm in London. That's just the dog over there. We might get interrupted by a dog walker. So I'm now 18 and I'm living in London in the big city in my own little student accommodation. I'm like, wow, like life is beginning. So I'm just living my life, making friends, went to the club for the first time.
Hey.
Then our good old friend coronavirus hits at the end of my first year at university. It's almost your turn. So it's lockdown.
I've waited long enough.
No one's allowed to leave their house. You all know how it went. We literally all went through that together. And my sister's like, Iwana, I think you should start TikTok. So I was like, yeah, why not? I literally have nothing better to do. And she was right. It did kind of go well. And I managed to get some followers.
The money started rolling in.
No, not yet. I managed to get some followers. And it...
Sorry.
It also got me to meet this guy. It's your turn.
Go wait, wait 1 second. I was preparing for this. Yay!
This guy.
No!
Oh, sorry. So one day I got a comment on one of my posts, which actually I want to quickly tell you. I worked in Urban Outfitters, right, during uni. And then my first job on TikTok was for Urban Outfitters. That was kind of a nice circular moment. That's also the TikTok that I then got a comment on from this guy. And it said, please tell me you're from London. If you are, I'll propose right now. And I was like, whoa, that's a bit bold. And I pressed on his profile and I'm like, oh, damn. This guy's handsome as fuck. So good looking.
Stop. Then he goes to
handsome.
and he's got so much muscle.
You didn't have as many muscles back then. Up to this point, I basically haven't had a boyfriend. I've had like a boyfriend when I was like 10. That doesn't count.
Fucking stupid idiot Spanish boy.
Okay. I was waiting for a special person. That was very important to me. So I replied, LMAO, I actually am. And he says, see this as a formal request to treat you right. So I follow him back.
All the other girls that got that comment, can you just keep your mouth shut? I'm joking.
And then the day comes where he's like, we should FaceTime. I am a nervous wreck. I was like, oh my goodness, like the whole FaceTime, I just showed him the side of my face. And that first FaceTime turned into us FaceTiming every single night for minimum 3 hours. Like it was kind of intense. 3 months almost go by and lockdown gets lifted. Adam comes down to London to do a flat viewing. He didn't actually live in London yet. He lived in Scotland. So we meet. This is when we have our first date.
We've recreated this date on YouTube.
We did actually.
So
We recreated it, so you can go watch it. So that day went really well. Lockdown has slightly lifted. I moved into a different apartment, like a proper little flat. His flat viewing went well. Moved into his flat, but is kind of staying at mine all the time. Then lockdown gets reinforced again, but luckily he's here. So we spend a lot of time together. And I would say that lockdown really made our relationship go from like 0 to 80 in like the span that usually would take like months, because we were together every single day and night.
Which kind of set the precedent for how we live now, I think.
Yeah, literally. Okay guys, we had to come home. The camera stopped recording, but it's okay. We came home, we were a bit cold anyway, so the fire is on now and I will continue. So, where was I? Let's skip forward to when COVID is now over. Everyone's happy again. And this is when Adam and I decide to move in together properly.
Yeah, because
you've now
because
been...
we think we're so mature and we think, yeah, we've got it, it's easy.
We can do this, we've done this during lockdown, so we do. It's pretty nice, pretty good for a month, and then not so good anymore. It basically went pretty downhill pretty quick.
Yeah. I just basically wasn't ready. I wasn't willing to be mature like I should have been. I just, being a young man, just had a very warped perspective on love and how love should play out, and save you all the dilly-dally, blah, blah, blah. Basically went tits up and I fucked off for a bit.
Yeah, so we broke up. It is what it is at this point. Like, we don't really
care.
Yeah, we don't even care anymore. We like sorted it out to like as deep as it could go. I moved in with my friend Mia, who I literally met 2 days before we decided to move in together, which is just legit. Shout out Mia. Living with a friend was actually really, I think, the right thing to do for that age. I don't really remember the timeline. Like, we kind of, I think, feel like both have kind of blanked out that whole time because... Like,
you dyed your hair red, I got a nose piercing.
Yeah, it was just
a weird
We struggle without each other, and that's what was happening then. And then after about 4 months and stuff, we both realized, you know what, no, actually, we really want to be together for the rest of our lives. Let's make this work. We work on it, and Adam kind of starts spending a lot more time at the flat again. And then he decides to move in down the road with his roommate. Somehow, mysteriously, he's like, oh my god, I found the flat down the road. So he moves in, and we're basically neighbors. This whole year is so fun. Work started going well. We were both living with nice people. We were so close to each other, so basically lived half at my place, half at your place, and it was just like...
It's really nice.
It was really nice.
First time I felt like a young adult.
And then towards the end of the year, we uploaded the Cornwall vlog, our first YouTube video, which means you guys are now in the picture. Then we decide to move to the countryside, which is intense for two young people living in London with all their friends in London.
All your work in London.
All work in London. It was quite a big decision, but we were both actually surprisingly super down for it. So we just did it because we were like, if it feels right, let's go do it. In this house, in the countryside, all the memories in this house are just YouTube. This is where we like fell in love with it. This is where we decided to upload every single week. We were like, we should really just commit to this. The house was always a mess, so I can't say I was necessarily super fond of that house, but we were just preoccupied and honestly, we just wanted to live life and film YouTube videos. Anyway, after a year of living in that house, we decided we need more space.
Like I literally couldn't even stand up in the bathroom. Like
yeah,
if
you watched the moving vlog, you remember.
Like, yeah.
And we moved here. I don't know, I'm really happy in life right now. I feel like something new is really brewing here. We're getting to know you guys are getting to know us. It feels really beautiful to me. We went live this morning in my Instagram broadcast channel, and just like the way that you guys speak with us now, you know us in like a way that before, when I was just doing Instagram, you obviously didn't. Like people were asking Adam like tips on like a motorbike, and it's just that little question is to us just the most beautiful thing to be asked, because it's like, oh my goodness.
Like our comment sections with all you guys, it's just ace.
We literally love you all for it so much. And I think that's why this birthday is pretty special, because I'm really proud of where I am now. I'm so happy that I came back to YouTube, because it's clear that since day one I've kind of wanted to do this. And yeah, I just thought we'd do this video and I just tell you about my whole life that hasn't been on YouTube, because you're gonna know about the rest of my life continuing from here. So I kind of wanted you guys to know the whole like pre-story of how I am me nowadays.
We're pretty committed to this. Like we really want to show people that we're dead serious. Like living for the plot.
It's for life.
It's for life.
It's for life. This year I have another thing to be thankful for on my birthday, and it's you guys. So thank you guys so much for that. I love you for it. And last but not least, live for the plot.
Yippee!